Cabinet has once again called on all South Africans to observe April as Freedom Month under the theme Working Together to Unite the Nation, to Promote Democracy and Protect Our Freedom. This month is also an opportunity for all cultural communities to display and celebrate our national diversity. It is against this background that as we mourn the unfortunate circumstances around the passing away of Mr. Andre Statane and Constable Sihle Mbata, that Cabinet urges all South Africans to remain calm and let the law take its course. Cabinet sends its condolences to the bereaved families. Cabinet also calls on all men and women in the police service to continue to remain true and faithful to their oath and responsibility to fight crime and corruption, and to carry out their work courageously without fear or favor, to reach the goal of ensuring that all South Africans feel and are safe, and thus protecting our nation. The various arms catches and drug busts continue to provide tangible evidence that our men and women in uniform are working very hard. Cabinet expressed its full support for the national orders. These are the highest awards that a country, through its president, bestows on its citizens and eminent foreign nationals. National orders takes place on National Orders Awards take place on Freedom Day to mark the contribution and selflessness that bestowed citizens have made to our country. Cabinet has raised concerns regarding the death on our roads, especially alcohol-related accidents, and is calling on the nation during this Easter period not to drink and drive, to take regular rests along the long journeys, adhere to the speed limits, and all other regulatory signs on the road. There were a few key strategic decisions that Cabinet took. Without any particular order, Cabinet has approved that the South African Defence Force should fine-tune its strategy to protect our waters from piracy. Being a littoral country, South Africa needs to have a balanced naval capability to effectively respond to maritime security threats affecting South Africa. Cabinet noted the incursion of marine crime into our waters, which might affect our trade routes through the seas. Cabinet has endorsed the decision by the Department of Minerals to invoke a moratorium on licenses in the Karoo where fracking is proposed. The Department of Minerals will lead a multidisciplinary team, including the Department of Trade and Industry, Science and Technology, amongst others, to fully research the full implications of the proposed fracking. Cabinet has made it very clear that clean environment, together with all the ecological aspects, will not be compromised. Cabinet noted the resolutions of the President's Coordinating Council, which sought to bring greater integration between national, provincial, and local government departments across all 9 provinces. All premiers are encouraged to share best practice and ensure that service delivery is a reality on the ground. This is a very important structure that marks the fact that South Africa is a unitary state under the able leadership of Ubabu Jacob Gedlehlekisa Mhlanganyelwa Zuma. Cabinet places high priority on issues of climate change. In this regard, Cabinet noted the report from Cancun, COP16, CMP6, and South Africa's preparation for hosting COP17 in Durban as it relates to 2 issues. One, the international strategy towards a Durban outcome linked to COP Presidency Program, and secondly, the National Delegation Preparatory Program. In contributing to the conservation and sustainable use of biodiversity, Cabinet approved the signing of the Nagoya Protocol, on access to genetic resources and fair and equitable sharing of benefits arising from their utilization at the Convention on Biological Diversity signing ceremony in New York on the 11th of May at the United Nations headquarters. South Africa is the third most biological diverse country in the world after Indonesia and Brazil. These countries harbor the majority of the Earth's species and collectively contain more than 2/3 of global biodiversity. Therefore, South Africa attaches great importance to the Nagoya Protocol. Cabinet noted progress made on the Wonderklep Bay abalone demonstrator and plans to expand the demonstrator into a commercial venture with public and private sector investment. Cabinet also noted the establishment of the abalone hatcheries in Wonderklep Bay and Houston. The Department of Health will participate in the project with a view to investigating the health-related benefits and potential effects on human health. Crime-related activities and illegal harvesting along the abalone industry will also be closely monitored. In taking its position internationally in terms of the space sector, Cabinet approved that the Ministers of Science and Technology and of Trade and Industry further consult on the hosting of the 62nd International Astronautical Congress, which is happening between the 3rd and the 7th of October this year. This is the world's premier meeting of space industry companies and space professionals, which is normally attended by over 3,500 conference participants and exhibitors and is held annually. This is like the FIFA Cup of space meetings and will be attended by heads and top executives of the world's leading space agencies. In providing a platform for South Africa to position itself internationally, the Departments of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries staff will host 6th session of the Food and Allied Organizations Subcommittee on Aquaculture in 2012. A growing aquaculture industry will provide additional economic activity linked to the seafood industry. Hosting this session in South Africa will promote the sector and enhance investment by the private sector and donors into the country and will contribute towards fast-tracking the development and transformation of the aquaculture sector in the country and the rest of the continent. Leading to the Youth Month, Cabinet noted the introduction of the National Rural Youth Service Corps program by the Department of Rural Development and Land Reform. The main goal of this project is to enroll and develop youth to be paraprofessionals who will be trained to work in their communities and municipalities, leading to creation of employment opportunities and enterprises in the medium to long term. In accelerating government land reform program, Cabinet noted the introduction of the Land Reform Recapitalization and Development Program by the Department of Rural Development and Land Reform and approved that the Department of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries and Rural Development and Land Reform collaborate on this initiative and agrees that pilot sites be identified with a view to further extending them at an appropriate time, and agree that the cluster further discusses a mechanism for extending potential aid for graduating farmers. Cabinet noted the report by the Ministerial Task Team on the audit of certain categories of inmates. This report was extending from that period, 1st of Feb to 31st December last year. This will contribute to the reform of the criminal justice system by addressing problems associated with the overcrowding of correctional services centers and the treatment of the vulnerable groups. On the international front, Cabinet welcomed the enthusiastic participation of South Africa into the BRIC bloc. This participation is seen as a major milestone in asserting South Africa as a serious player in the global economic landscape. Cabinet noted the participation of a select cabinet ministers in the forthcoming World Economic Forum, 4th and 6th of May, that's happening in Cape Town. Swaziland. South Africa is very concerned. Cabinet is very concerned about what's happening in Swaziland. Cote d'Ivoire. Cabinet encourages people of Cote d'Ivoire to peacefully resolve their presidential challenges. Libya. Cabinet expresses concern about the continued loss of human lives in Libya, and once again calls for the cessation of hostilities from all sides, and is in full support of the AU statement that seeks to restore peace. Nigeria. South African government extends its sincere congratulations to President Goodluck Jonathan and wishes to reaffirm its desire to enhance its strong relations with his government. Then there were quite a few bills and regulations that were approved for public comment. One of them was Municipal Property Rates Amendment Bill. This bill is meant to provide the regulation of the power of the municipality to impose rates on property and to provide for fair and equitable valuation methods. Then there's a bill on the publication of the South African Weather Service amendment. This amendment bill provides for further objectives and functions for the South African Weather Service pertaining to the ambient air quality information service. It further aligns the provisions pertaining to the Weather Service Board with the PFMA and the National Environmental Management Air Quality Act of 2004. Another bill is the publication of the Geomatics Professions Bill 2011. This bill seeks to provide a mechanism to accelerate the transformation of the surveying profession in a meaningful manner, which would serve the interests of both the professions, the profession and the public. And then there's another Members' Ethics Amendment Bill. This bill will be published in the Gazette and made available for public consultation on the department's website, Department of Justice website. The publication of the draft Spatial Planning and Land Use Management Bill. The implementation of this bill will provide critical support to a number of noble objectives of the government, especially spatial, economic, human settlement, and rural development, and economic and job creation programs. Then there is a promotion of National Unity and Reconciliation Act of 1995. There's a regulation that's going to be out for public comments. This regulation relates to assistance to truth and reconciliation victims in respect of basic and higher education, and this bill will be published for public comment. And another one under TRC will be the draft regulation relating to medical benefits for victims that were identified through the TRC process.